How you doing? How you doing? And how you doing, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Patty, and I appreciate you stopping by today. And this is one of your first times coming across my videos. I like to treat my content like a live show. That means not a whole lot of edits and everything. Basically, try and treat this like a conversation between you and one of your buddies that's trying to show you something. Because I really like that format. I feel like it comes across more authentically. And I don't want to have a bunch of whole curated stuff where, I just look the best all the time, because that is far, far from the truth. So what I'm going to try and do is make you laugh a little bit, and then just go over and learn you a few things if I can. So basically what we're here to do today is talk about our girl Fischl, the one that is just, doing her weird eye flex thing on us right now. And you might be like me, and you might have heard that Fischl is one of the best 4-star champions in the game in terms of damage. So, like myself, when you first got her, there's a very decent chance that you heard all of that from the community and were like, oh, I need to build damage, yeah. Kinda, but not a whole lot. So if you've seen my Amber boss killer build video, you know that like she just has chunky weak point damage, and you could potentially build Fischl in a similar way, but that's not really where her strengths lie. If we're all being 100% honest, and your boy does his very best to be that all the time, the main thing our girl is here for, and the reason that she is so strong and just hailed across the community, is her E. Oh, we're too far in for you to be able to see. It's our little buddy right here. He does such good damage. And he will consistently ping and hit people that are nearby. You can also hit E again to reposition if you need to. And as you get more constellations put into him, he starts being able to be more useful for you. I want to say it's second or third lets you actually just shoot the man. Yeah, this one. Maybe I'm missing one. Where is it? There's one of these, you can basically just shoot the bird and it'll blow up and do a little bit of damage. That's not the right one. But it's a very, very, very passive ability. But it does great damage, and when you use people like Zhengling to have both of their pets out and bullying people, they're just the best of friends. The very best friends. Nature's best friends, in fact. They have stolen the title from Bear and Shark. If you don't know what that means, you're too young for me, bro. Sorry. It's a little space ghost for my really old people. I'm only 30, okay? I need to clarify that before you all start thinking I'm an old man. I'm just a little old man. But our girl is as amazing as you've heard from everybody in the world. She really is such a strong person to have in your team. She is one of the 4 people that I am focusing on building, so that I can get through my initial stages of Abyss, all the story stuff. Honey is showing up to work. So let's take a look at some of her stuff, because if you compare her numbers to, say, my main DPS, you can be like, oh man, that is almost double the attack on your main DPS than you have your Fischl. Well, how is she so strong still? We gonna take a... Lost my soul a little bit on that one. Excuse me. Gotta love that grade A unedited content, right, kids? Sorry about that. So let's take a look at some of the stuff that I have on her and some of the things that you could potentially build with her. So weapon-wise, I really like this, but it doesn't feel super consistent. I cannot tell you with 100% certainty that using her E and her E doing damage has a chance to reset her skill once it goes on to cooldown. I feel like it works, but it feels inconsistent, like it's not always there. Now there's a 20-second timer on it, but with the length, I want to say that her E takes 12 to 14 seconds to come off cooldown anyways. So you should have this pretty consistently if it was working with it as intended. Unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot of other great options to play around with. This is not one that I would suggest in any kind of way, because you're not really using auto attacks with Fischl, or at least you shouldn't be, because it's not where her strengths lie. Favonius Warbow, crits have a small chance to generate elemental particles. This one could potentially be a pretty decent choice to go with. Making sure that she has her Q up a lot, which she typically has her Q up a lot. So it's not something that I think you have to prioritize, just because of how readily available it always is. Girl does some cheeky damage. And like we mentioned before, I don't really recommend Sharpshooter's Oath on this one. You're not using Fischl to really ping against weak spot targets. There are some instances where that could be a viable strategy. But unless you were just trying to use this bow because you have nothing else that's viable and you're just trying to get some crit damage, that'd be okay. But don't use this bow and then be like, oh, let me just charge shot everything. You're going to lose out on some DPS. If you want to do it, you can do it. Do whatever makes you happy in this game, boo. It's a very big world we all get to run around in. You do whatever you need to. That's all I'm going to say. Looking at some of the other weapons and everything, slingshot, no. I really wish they would rework this because I don't think it is a very good weapon skill, if we're being honest. Defeating an opponent restores 8% HP. You could do that. Only thing that I would kind of caution you on is that Fischl is one of the strongest supports in the game. And that support role means that she's not actively on the field a lot. You're just using her E or her Q intermittently when it benefits you. And that's kind of it. She shouldn't be out here taking a lot of damage. She's not going to be your main DPS. So this bow also kind of just gets a... Not great. Not great for what you can do with this chickie. So let's take a look at some of the other ones. This is honestly one of the only situations where I'm going to say the Hydro and Pyro weapons, because they're on every single type of weapon in the game, and usually I just meme them to death for being absolutely terrible. But because she is a lightning-based character, increasing her damage against people that are affected by Hydro or Pyro means when the elemental interaction occurs, that 12% damage and whatever you refine it up to is going to factor into that. So this could actually be the best budget weapon for her to be using, to be 100% honest. We also get Elemental Mastery off of it, which is pretty big. We're going to talk about that here in a little bit. But all in all, this is actually a super, super strong choice for her. So definitely, if you're having trouble believing Petty on that one, test it out. You know, use Barbara or someone like that. Get Hydro on some stuff or set something on fire. I don't know who would want to set anything on fire. It's not like setting things on fire is the most satisfying thing in this game. But test it out and you'll see what I'm talking about. When you do that and then hit them without this weapon, you should see a noticeable difference in damage. So this is one of the only occasions where I'm going to say that this is actually a really, really strong pick. So weapon-wise, that's kind of it. Obviously, if you get some like crazy 5-star bow, yeah, I know that might be a good one to use. But I don't have any of those. We're just going to skate right past that. Go look for a Whales channel, because your boy's not swinging it right now. Alright, so let's take a look at some of the stuff that we actually have on her and how we're gearing the last 3 slots and artifacts, because that's honestly the most important thing. That's where you're going to get a majority of your stuff. Everything else is just kind of trying to optimize substats, but nothing really, really crazy. So we can see here in this slot, I've gone for Elemental Mastery. Honestly, this is one of my only Elemental Mastery pieces for this slot. So that is, we're probably going to take that higher than +8, especially now that we're getting a little higher in the world ranks. Next one, we're going into attack percentage. Pretty straightforward. And then the very final one, we're going for crit damage. That's a little bit of an all over the place build. What you could also do in this final slot, you can also get Elemental Mastery on this one as well. So you could get 2 Elemental Masteries and then just go pure attack there from there. And you'll be doing all right. I mostly leveled this piece just trying to do a little bit of testing and everything. I definitely think where most people are is too early game to start trying to push for crit damage slots. Because none of us really have enough crit rate to be able to capitalize and use that reliably. So it's kind of a wasted slot early on. Once we all progress a little bit further and gear gets a little bit more ridiculous, back to crit damage 100%. But if you're in like the first 20 or so adventure rank levels and everything, yeah, go Elemental Mastery here if you can. If you can't, attack percentage. But you want to try and get Elemental Mastery into at least one of these 2 slots here. From there, we've got Elemental Mastery and crit rate on substats on that one. Elemental Mastery again, some crit damage. I actually got super lucky on some of this. This is probably one of my better optimized characters right now. This one we've got attack percentage and then HP. HP is not really important. Attack percentage was definitely the thing that we were happy to see there. If they ever introduce rerolls, that's getting re-rolled. We don't really need defense, and we don't really need energy recharge again, because she just has her Q is available a lot. It's available more often than everyone else in my party, but I also run a party with 2 Electro people, which boosts the number of electro. I want to say electric every time, and my little like panic brain is like, no, it's Electro, not electric. I'm sorry. That's what it is. But we don't really. So the thing with 2 electro people on your party makes more electro particles be generated, which then refills your Q faster. So it's something that we already have a lot of access to. So energy recharge is kind of a useless stat for Fischl in teams that you're most likely to run her. So it's basically it stat-wise. Set-wise, 100% go for Instructor. 100% go for Instructor. Because again, she is one of the best supports in the game. So her elemental skill is her E. That's the Raven that you're popping out. If you make her the first person in your support rotation, so the very first thing that you do is pop E with her, with this 4-piece, you're now making the whole rest of your team do more damage. And the rest of your team should be people that combo in with Electro, so that you're just getting great damage. Zhengli is an amazing person to use in combo with her, especially when you're rocking something like this that is just going to increase the elemental reactions going down the line. So, all in all, that's pretty much it, to be honest with you. Constellations, I've gotten super lucky on the event. Obviously, I'm only one away from completing her, and once I complete her, that's just a little bit more grossness. We're getting longer out of the E, and it will attack whatever target you're currently hitting. Typically, the way that it acts now is the first thing that comes near it that it can hit, it'll just start hitting that thing until it's dead. And then the next closest thing, it'll look around and start hitting until that thing is dead. So you can use it to kind of place around, you know, say you're fighting a group of things, some guys are right here, and some guys are over here, right? You could run into the first group, drop your supports, move over to your second group, start going for your reactions over there. Bam! We're getting overload in 2 spots, and because Fischl went first and used her E, now everybody's interactions are doing that much more damage. So it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. But once you have that final constellation, it'll help you with a little bit more targeted DPS. Because sometimes you do just have to let her bird sit over there and do whatever it's going to do while you are fighting over here. And once you finish that, me swinging at something means Birdie's going to turn around and start lasering that man. And I appreciate that. That's great work, Birdie. I really, really appreciate that. So let me know if you guys have any questions about Fischl. Really, as far as comps go, if we want to take a look at that real fast, which we've got a little bit of time. We haven't made this obscenely long yet. I'm still kind of proud of our progress. So if we run through some of the... Oh, that's right. I switched up my teams for a video the other day. So, I mean... I will typically partner her with Zhengling a lot. You could do something along these lines. Let's see, what do we want to do for this last slot? Because we still need our carry deep, or our main DPS, I should say, which is our boy Razor. But I have also run teams that were closer to this. Like there was several videos early on where this was basically my team, and then Lisa would be the slot that I would switch out. Barbara would make sure that everybody stays alive forever. While also her interactions with Pyro, causing Vaporize, which lowers defenses on stuff. Then her, Fischl, and Lisa can have a party where they start doing even more damage because their defense broken from this combo. There's a few things that you could do here. Typically, if you weren't running... In these kind of teams where you're going to have at least 3 different elements, you want to make sure that you're bringing at least 2 of one that's going to benefit you the most. So this team, the Elemental Resonance, is going to do what we were talking about earlier, where we're generating our Qs faster, which is nice. But you could also run a team like this. So Double Fire is going to give us increased attack by 25%. Now everybody's attacks are just doing more damage, because attack does factor into your skill damage and everything like that. So it can do a pretty decent job. It's not terrible, but hopefully that gives you guys a little bit of ideas of what you can do team comp wise. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up and ask me either on my Discord. Or just leaving a comment, and I'll try to get back to you as quickly as I can. I've been dead this week, so I apologize to all the people I have not gotten back to yet, but your boy's been on antibiotics for over 24 hours at this point, and we're starting to feel less like a dead man. These lights are still making me want to melt, but we'll survive. Your boy's gonna make it. We gonna make it. Oh! And the car's fixed. Like, fixed. Your boy had to do some slightly sketchy stuff with replacing the cable for the terminal to post connection on the battery. That connects to your starter and your fuse box, and the line from the fuse box. I had to kind of trim in a weird way for the cable that I got to reconnect them. So hopefully that doesn't explode and kill your boy, but if it does, I'm sorry. I'm white trash. What was I going to do? Not fix my car? No, we had to be a little sketchy. But all right, guys, thank you so much for stopping by today. Again, if you're a newer viewer, if you could hit subscribe and leave me a comment. Comments are a huge thing with YouTube and how the algorithm treats them, and then determines how many other people your pretty face is going to get put in front of. And yeah, if you could help me beat the evil machines, you're my Sarah Connor, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much, guys. You're going to have to catch your boy on the next one, because we out of here. Deuces.